The most powerful capability of HTML is that of linking, the ability to connect to files, including other pages. Actually, you can create links to spots on the same page as the links themselves, or to pages in the same directory, or to pages in other directories on your site, or to pages on sites other than your own. You can use linking to send an email from a web page. These are all about going out to some location. In addition, you can use the link element to bring in remote files under some circumstances. Let's check it out. To link to a destination, you need a name for the destination. If the destination is in the same page as the link, you use a # or hashtag, followed by the value of the ID attribute of the target element. If the destination is another page in the same directory as the linking page, we say the current directory, simply reference the page name, for example, 2.html. In a subdirectory of the current directory, reference the subdirectory name followed by a slash, followed by the page name, for example, client1/info.html. In a subdirectory of the current directory, reference the chain of directories, client5/joborders/job1.html, and so on. In the parent directory, the directory that includes the current directory, reference /filename, /venues.html. In the parent of the parent directory, use .. For example, .. people.html, and so on. In a sibling directory, same parent but different directory, you need to go up to the parent .. then into the sibling directory, then reference the file, resulting in .. directory name /file name. For example, .. bars-web/client1.html. So let's make it work. The key is the A element, a hypertext anchor. Its purpose is to define a hyperlink. The syntax is a start tag, A, with some possible attributes we'll discuss shortly, and text, and then an end tag, and the start tag and end tag are required. The use of any global attributes for A is so rare it's not worth mentioning. Much more interesting are these non-global attributes for this element. href specifies the name of the destination of the hyperlink, which is what we've just been working on. This is really the important attribute for the A element. Target specifies the place to put the destination file. The default is simply replace the page containing the link, but you can cause the destination to display in an alternative tab or window. Download is a Boolean attribute. If present, it says do not link to the item, but invoke the download dialog. Ask where to put the item named in the href attribute. As with global attributes, the use of any standard event handlers is so rare it's not worth discussing. Instead, we look at the default action on clicking the text of a hyperlink, discussed shortly, but first, what does it look like? Here we demonstrate what destinations look like in elements. Top is now a possible destination. Note, this is an empty paragraph used as a placeholder. It is not visible. Cities is now the name of a destination in this page. Note that some browsers ignore empty paragraphs, so you can always provide a non-breaking space character entity reference. Recall the lesson on text markup. Elements with ID attributes are called fragments, specific locations within a page. So what do A elements look like in code? Well, to reference a fragment, notice the hashtag in front of the fragment name in your href attribute. Long web pages often have A elements like this. These can be scattered throughout the page. or often a shorter version, a little more to the point. To reference another page, you need to put the page name in your href attribute. To load a page into a different window or tab, we add the target attribute, here shown as unipage, and we'll talk more about how to code that shortly. And to reference a page from a different website, you need to supply the entire URL. So what do A elements look like in a browser? Generally, browsers provide visual clues about anchors by underlining the text content and emphasizing with a color. If a link has not yet been clicked, the color is a light blue. But once a link has been taken, then the color changes to sort of a light purple. Well, how does it work? When the text content of an A element is clicked, if the destination is in the same page as the link, that is, href is of the form #fragment name, the page is positioned so that the target element is as near as possible to the top of the screen. If the destination is another HTML page or any other external file, that file is located and placed into the browser window or tab containing the page where the hyperlink is located, unless download is coded or target equals specifies otherwise. If download is coded, you see the download dialog asking where to put the file on your computer. Note, actually the download attribute can have a value. If specified, the value is taken as the suggested name to use for the file when it is downloaded. For example, here we have href equals steve.jpg, download equals cooldude.jpg. If target equals is specified, the href file is placed into a named window or browser tab. You specify a name, at least one character long that does not begin with an underscore. A new window or tab is created with that name assigned to it, and the href file is loaded there. Subsequent links to the same target name will reuse that window or tab. Now for a different aspect of A elements. You can send an email from a web page. The key is to specify the href as mail to : followed by an email address. For example, in this A element, we have href equals quote, mail to : charliebrown@ourpeanuts.com, close quote. This will display as send an email to Charlie, with the email to Charlie being emphasized as links are often done. And when the user clicks on the link, they will be placed into their default email client with the to line already filled in. You can address multiple people in a mail to value as a comma-separated list of addresses. For example, here, mail to charliebrown@peanuts.com, peppermintpatty@peanuts.com. And you can actually include a subject line by coding a question mark followed by the word subject equals followed by your subject text, all after the address list. So in this example, after peppermintpatty@peanuts.com, we say question mark subject equals my birthday party. The important key is you need to double quote the whole href string. There's more, but not discussed here. I encourage you to experiment and see what works. The official standard describes all the abilities and restrictions, and it's pretty turgid reading. https://tools.ietf.org/html/rfc6068. Well, there is one more point. I have found some browsers seem to have problems with the subject parameter, so providing an alternative would be user-friendly. Maybe something like this. After the A element, add a BR, and if the link above does not work, just send me an email at, and provide an email address. Finally, we look at the link HTML element. This element is a sub-element of the head element, and its purpose is to identify external resources used page-wide. The syntax is pretty standard: a link start tag, a couple of attributes. Start tag is required, end tag is forbidden, so there's no content. The item pointed at by the href attribute has the relationship to the document as specified in the rel attribute. No global attributes nor events are useful, but there are required attributes. href identifies the target resource, a destination as described earlier in this video, and rel identifies the type of relationship the href item has to this document. There are multiple possibilities. However, for this lesson, we only mention two: icon and preload. An icon is a small image that represents the document. Most commonly, it shows up in the window or tab header. Here's an example. Here, this link element, we have href as barney.ico. Its relationship is icon. Barney.ico is included in the lab files for the course, by the way. And it shows up here in the tab, circled in red there, so you can see what it looks like. When a link to an item has rel equal preload, this is a command to load the resource as early as possible. This can prevent delay when the user selects to play a video, for example, such as the one you're watching now. In fact, this link would preload the video that we're watching. In this video, we examined how to set destinations for links within a page, and how to link to destinations within a page, to pages within the current directory, to pages within other directories in your website, and to pages in outside websites. How to set up sending an email from a web page, and how to link to external resources, well, at least icons and preload files. In the next session, we begin the discussion of style as it applies to HTML. See you there.